Hey, welcome everyone to my first tech consumer advice video, which could be the first of many to come in a series I'm experimenting with, in which I provide information on how to make the best tech-related purchases. So this first video is being kicked off by Adobe. And I'm splitting this video up into chapters. You want to skip to certain segments, but I suggest you watch the whole video because the story is kind of nuts. So the first part of this video is me explaining the previous controversy, because there's a ton and it's going to lead up to this exact topic. Then, of course, we're going to talk about the price increase. But the price increase also introduces AI services that Adobe's kind of shoving upon the consumer. And then I'm going to explain what you can do as an Adobe subscriber. Because I am one as myself, and I'm stuck in this situation, and there's not much time left. Because here we are, May 21st, I'm recording this. They announced it on May 15th with like no proper notice to consumers. On May 15th, they made an announcement on their website, which we'll go over. But they didn't communicate to anyone that these changes come into effect next month in June. So people have a month's notice and they haven't really communicated it properly yet. So very underhanded method. So let's dive into the history here. So how do we get to this point to begin with the lack of trust with Adobe? If you haven't been really following a lot of the news, there's a lot of stuff that's happening. A lot of people are upset with how monopolized the industry has become by Adobe. And look, hate it or love it, you gotta admit that they're the best or one of the best in the industry for whatever services they provide. So if it's video editing, Premiere Pro is one of, if not the best. I use it. You have Adobe Photoshop. Like, there's a reason they're so successful, because they are one of, if not the best in the creative world of technology, right? Like, but on that flip side, they've kind of used their positioning to leverage crazy pricing, making it difficult for people to change plans, making it difficult for people to unsubscribe from their subscription service. And it's made several courts. Like, there's some lawsuits going against them and investigations, I think from the FTC, or has it been dropped? I don't know. That's not the meat and potatoes of this video, though. There was another controversy here last year in 2024 where Adobe updated their terms of services, and you get this pop-up when you're opening up your Adobe Creative Suite, and you can't use your Adobe product unless you accept the new terms of service, which basically said, hey, we're going to use AI and scan your media files. This opened up like a whirlwind of backlash on social media, but even a lot of people in Hollywood, like directors and producers, went buck wild on Twitter or X, whatever that garbage is called now. And the backlash was tremendous, and Adobe had to update their terms of service to kind of revert back and say, oh, yeah, we're not going to use AI to scan your files and your data and stuff. So they don't have the best trust with consumers right now. What do? They're like, you know what? It's been less than a year. Let's increase our prices. So let's dive into it. So if you go to the Adobe website, which again, this is not communicated properly, they are updating their pricing for folks in North America, but the specific regions within North America are United States, Canada, and Mexico. People around the world are not affected by this pricing yet. Okay, so if you're in the UK, India, Japan, whatever, for now you're okay, but I wouldn't be too happy with it, because expect this to happen to you soon. Because they specifically say, at this time, there will be no changes to Creative Cloud members in other regions. At this time, so that means it's going to happen. They're basically introducing a new subscription plan, and they're forcing a lot of AI services into it. So whether you want it or not, there's gonna be a ton of AI services available, image generation, video generation. What I find interesting here is that they're including non-Adobe generative AI models, like ChatGPT, Google, and other competitors. So look, all these AI services cost Adobe money. The problem is they're forcing it upon you as an Adobe subscriber. They're not saying, hey, if you want these AI services, here's another add-on bundle you can pay for. No, they're going to lump it in together. So if you don't want the AI services, too bad, so sad. But it's a very gray area, and let's continue on. What they're introducing now is two sets of plans. Okay, for individual users like myself, teachers, and students. And what they're saying is that, it's going to be called the standard plan, the one without all these additional AI services, okay? And it'll retain pretty much the same pricing it has today. But the one with all the AI features is going to be much more expensive. And of course, you don't have access to some of this stuff. I'll put a link to this press release, or we're going to call it a help document, in the video description, so you can read through it yourself if you want to. Here's what the new pricing looks like, and this is Canadian pricing, okay? It's just ridiculous. The original pricing we're paying today is $71.99 a month, but on an annual contract. So be very careful how you read this. You're only going to get this pricing if you sign up for an annual plan, even though they're listing monthly. It's very deceiving, so make sure you read that carefully. This is not a month-to-month plan where you buy for 2 months and you cancel it, $71 a month. No. You have to sign up for a year. The new pricing is a whopping $20 more per a month. In the United States, they're increasing the pricing by $120 USD per year. But if you convert USD to CAD, it's $166. But for us Canadians, they're increasing it by $20 a month, which is $240 more per year, not $166. I can only imagine what they're going to do to folks in the United Kingdom, those in the European Union that have the euro and all that good stuff. Like, the pricing is going to be fluctuating all over the place, so just expect that you're not going to pay what a lot of tech news outlets are reporting, because it's going to fluctuate by region, as we are clearly seeing right now. And there are some gotchas here, okay? Because the student and teachers cannot go on the standard plan, the one without the AI services. You have to sign up for the new Pro plan, which has all the AI services. But of course, students and teachers get a first year introductory price at this. And then the renewal price turns into this. You can't, so if you're a student or teacher, I don't know what the original pricing is now, but most likely the pricing is going to go up no matter what. Regular consumers like myself, when does it come into effect? Exactly is June 17th. And you can check your Adobe account on, adjusting that and whatnot. And here's the big kicker item. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate for you right now. So they announced this on, let me just highlight this. So this is my spot. May 15th. I'm recording this on May 21st. Okay. In the FAQ, and I'm not going to read every FAQ item here. I'll put this again in a link to it in the video description. And you can read what's applicable to you. Do I have to switch to the new Creative Standard plan before June 15th and to avoid license increases? You can switch to the new Creative Cloud Standard plan anytime in your Adobe account, but you'll only be charged with the increased price for Adobe Pro on your subscription renewal on or after June 17th. Visit your Adobe account to review your renewal date and manage your account. What I'm basically reading from this is that they're going to force everyone automatically to the new, more expensive AI plan. That if you want to keep the cheaper standard plan without all the AI bells and whistles, you have to go in and manually switch to that. And to me, that is a very underhanded tactic. If you read this, which is, again, buried under this huge FAQ and website, which no one's getting notified about properly. And here's why they're not getting notified. Adobe will send an email 30 days before your plan renewal date, reminding you of the price changes to your Creative Cloud plan. And you can choose to switch to Creative Standard plan. So they're saying if you want to go to a cheaper plan, you got to do it yourself, which re-emphasizes my point. Except they're giving you 30 days emails notice. So if you're someone on a super tight budget and you live out of Adobe Premiere Pro, like a lot of YouTubers like myself, you only get 30 days notice and you got to figure out an alternative. That if you don't want to use Adobe Premiere Pro, you have 30 days to research an alternative, because researching takes time. It's not fast, right? And then learn how to use this new platform, this new tool like DaVinci Resolve or whatever, and then start going back about your regular day-to-day. 30 days notice is nothing. For regular folks like myself who just want to make simple videos on YouTube to help consumers make good purchasing decisions with technology, educational videos which I make, I'm not some multi-million-dollar enterprise. My renewal date is in July. I don't have a lot of time to figure this out, and I feel bad for the folks that have even less time. It gets worse than that. Yeah, you didn't think it's possible, but here we go. Going into my Adobe Premiere plan, my creative plan, I was like, okay, let me try switching my plan now. Let me just proactively do this now, because they've given this notice has been out for 6 days. Surely they have this up and running. They do not. I cannot find it. So the way I'm reading this particular section is that if you are not renewing for several months from now and you're watching this video, let's say you're renewing in October, you cannot change your plan to standard right now. The reason I say this is because if you look at the verbiage, it says you can do it then, like as in within 30 days of when you get the email notification. Because I also tried to change my plan just now because I'm renewing in July. The option is not available. So if you get that email within 30 days and you miss it, you're going to automatically renew. I highly doubt Adobe is going to send multiple emails every week or month leading up to this changeover, because it's changing in the next month, in June. So just a cautionary note, you have to really look out for this email and make sure it doesn't go to spam or anything, because then you're renewing at a very high rate. Oh, and here's more for new consumers. Almost forgot you folks. Read the print. At this time, only existing consumers can switch to the Creative Standard plan. You can do this through the Adobe account, which I just demonstrated you can't, or by contacting Adobe customer support using the chat icon at the bottom of this page. And to emphasize the point that new customers cannot get the standard plan, if you look at the price comparison, it specifically says for existing customers. So if you're a new customer, you're thinking about diving into the Adobe world, you can't sign up for the cheaper plan. You have to go on the new AI-based plan. And here's the thing. If I look at my expenses from 2023 and prior, for Adobe specifically, these have tax in them, okay? But that's not the point. The tax doesn't change here. 2023 and prior was $894, okay? It increased by 9% in 2024. And here we are now in 2025. If I go with the AI plan, my pricing is going to increase by 39% from my 2023 and prior years. Almost a 40% increase in 2 years. My guess here is that the standard plan is going to be temporary for a few reasons. They're not offering it to students and teachers at all, even if you're an existing customer under that platform. They're not going to give it to new customers. So folks like me are going to get this as a grandfather plan. Grandfather plans in the tech world and subscriptions basically means it's no longer available to anybody. It's there and it might go away at any point. Here's my take on what you should do. This is a recommendation, you don't have to do it. If you use multiple services of Adobe, like if you're using 6 or 7 services or more, this still probably a better value for you. Despite the price increase, if you're trying to find an alternative to Adobe Premiere Pro, Photoshop, Audition, Encoder, After Effects, trying to find individual alternatives might be more expensive in the long run. Adobe still might be the cheaper option for you, right? So that's one thing. And maybe you want to make use of these AI services. Maybe it empowers you, it makes things more efficient, and in the long run, it does save you time and money. Maybe this is a great value for you. For a lot of folks, including myself, my recommendation is start looking for alternatives right now. Don't wait. Because the standard plan itself is very expensive. They're going to switch you to the Pro AI plan eventually. I don't know when it's going to happen. Tactics in which they're not communicating things effectively, giving next to no notice, is not a good sign. And I almost forgot, they're changing this plan for Teams as well. There's another article, if you look over here, they're changing it for Teams as well. The pricing is going to change there. So this is the new normal. Research alternatives. That's what I'm going to do. And you have to also look at the pros and cons of switching to alternatives. So for me, Adobe Audition is just an audio recording program. It's just built in there. I'm sure you can get tons of free alternatives. I'm already paying for Adobe, so I was like, why not? That's not a problem. A Premiere Pro's DaVinci Resolve is looking very enticing. It means learning how to use it, but at the same time, if I can spend time and I learn how to use it, because my videos are not complex. They're very simply edited. Could I use the money saved there to build a new machine? Because Windows 10 is going end of life in October of this year. You won't get security patches. The operating system will run, but you won't get security patches. With the number of viruses and bad actors nowadays, you need that protection. So could you use that money saved towards a new computer eventually, right? Could it be used for half a month's rent next month? So just think of alternative. What would you do with the money saved potentially? So is it a headache to learn a new platform? Yeah, but just look at the bright side. So not looking at the positive. I do have to build a new machine, a new computer eventually. I hope this has been informative. It's a new style format video that I'm working on. So that's pretty much it. So if you found this video useful, be sure to check my social links and website link in the video description. Hit the like button. It does help. Subscribe. It literally helps my channel grow. And thanks for watching.